move her hand and her fingers around, I can go ahead and center my tube and my IR. That means I've got all my lines lined up on the corners, on the edges. Everybody see that? So now I'm gonna do an AP thumb. I have to get her, I want you to turn your hand over like this. Okay, let's do this. It'll be easier to go this way. So flip it like this. And notice that what's natural for her is for her thumb to be going this way, right? So then I'm gonna move the IR. Instead of trying to wiggle her all around, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of center her part, and then I will bring the tube and move my tube head. But I want my longitudinal line to be going down with the long axis of the thumb. Make sure you're at 40 inches. And then I can take her finger and kind of move it. So I'm centered there. Let's check this out. Centered there, centered there, centered there. Now, for thumb to be truly AP, right now she's not in a true AP. Why, Monica? Why is she not true AP? Huh?
The wrist?
Not necessarily the wrist. How do I look at her thumb and tell she's not in a true AP? Anybody want to help her?
Is it her fingernail or?
Look at her fingernail and look at her thumb. Can you tell her thumb is not flat on that IR? It's angled up. Can y'all see that? I can see it from back here that her thumb's got a... So if I just twist her hand, I need that thumbnail to be flat on the IR. What is the joint that I'm going in?
The CMC?
See, what is that?
Carpal, little,
Carpometacarpal. No. We are at
the MCP.
MCP. We're at the metacarpophalangeal joint, which is where we're supposed to be for our thumb for AP. If you go back here. Yeah, MCP. Now, this is her right thumb. Right marker goes on the right side of the right thumb. Watch, do you see this shadow right here? That shadow's the thing you've got to worry about when you're positioning for this AP, because if that arm is not turned enough, it'll be like this. Can you see that? That shadow? That soft tissue right there is going to overlap the joint space. So if you can bring that hand back some, keeping the thumb nice and flat in the true AP, that's going to give you your best image of that joint space. So that's AP. Why do we do AP versus PA thumb?
So you want to enlarge. Because of magnification and enlarge.
Yes, because if I was trying to do a PA thumb, it would look like this. And look how far that thumb is from the IR. We're going to have a lot of magnification. But oblique thumb is super easy. Just lay your hand flat. Lay it flat on the IR. Your thumb is in a natural oblique when you put your hand flat. So you center to the metacarpophalangeal joint. Right marker goes on the right side of the digit. Make sure it's not in a shadow and make sure it's not too close to the digit itself. I'm going to open that up just a little bit more. Okay, oblique thumb. Lateral thumb, ball up your hand into a fist for me. Stick your thumb out straight. Stick it out. Bring it all the way. So I'm going to roll that thumb up on its side into a true lateral. Look at your thumbnail. Make sure it's on its side. It's in a true lateral. And kind of stretch those fingers away. I want to stretch the fingers out so that they don't overlap the joint. And just roll your arm. And that is a lateral thumb. Make sure that the digit is coming down the long axis of your central ray. You may have to kind of turn the hand a little bit more. lateral thumb. All right, PA, 2nd through 5th digits. The hand is flat. Where am I centering?
The PIP joint.
What is that? What's PIP stand for?
That's the
Proximal interphalangeal joint. Here's the thing. See how her arm is going at an angle here? I would scoot her forward in her chair because I want the wrist and the arm to all be on the same, going in the same direction, in the same alignment as the fingers, right? So I don't want her wrist going that way. So Crystal, can you slide your chair up some? There you go. Good. So here's PA. And I can just bring these other fingers out of the way. When they order fingers, it'll tell you, it'll be a fingers x-ray, and you do the finger of interest, whatever's injured or whatever kind of problem the patient is having. Say she came in and she had, she was fishing and she got a fish hook in her 2nd digit. So we're imaging the 2nd digit. Here's her PA. You're always gonna go 1 inch past the metacarpophalangeal joint for digits. For 3rd digit, bring it on over. Separate the others out of the way. Make sure the marker is not in the shadow of the anatomy. Coming right down, centering at the knuckle, which is your proximal interphalangeal joint. 4th digit. I'll just bring the others out of the way here. PA, 4th digit. Notice I'm still got at least an inch past metacarpophalangeal joint, an inch past the end of the digit. And then 5th, come forward just a little bit. There you go. And that's going to be 5th, and I can collimate in a little bit more on the pinky finger. Make sure you got your marker and your initials there. Questions about PA, 2nd through 5th digits?
So
All right.
So that marker being in the shadow, and you want to clip something else or no?
The only thing it's clipping is above that circle, which there's no information there anyway, so that's okay.
So the wrist has to be straight with the whole hand, or is it with the digit?
It should be with the, it's better to have like this. So I'd have her, I'd bring that wrist over, kind of straighten her up because she's leaning. But we're just looking at this area here. It's just better to have her, so just kind of straighten your hand up, Crystal. There you go. Now. Okay. So let's do oblique. So 2nd digit oblique. You're gonna have some OID here, turning the wrist up at an angle and the finger up at an angle, but you gotta make sure there's no other fingers with it. Keep the finger nice and straight. Here's the thing with obliques, because you've got all this OID, make sure that fingertip doesn't dip down like that. If it does, what's gonna happen to the joint space? It's gonna close up, right? So keep it up just like that. Marker. Right there, straight down. And I really want her wrist to be a little bit straighter here.
So when you're setting up for we can make sure we have the right degrees. Would it be easier just to set the head like this and then make?
You can.
Because that would, you know.
You can. So that's the 2nd coming in, metacarpophalangeal, or proximal interphalangeal joint. Then 3rd, separate the fingers. Watch the shadows with your marker. Make sure that your marker's not in the field of view of the image there. Make sure you're coming out past the metacarpophalangeal joint. You got 1 inch on each side and 1 inch of light past the tip of the digit. Oblique, we're getting closer to the IR as we get closer to the 5th digit, aren't we? Mm-hmm. Don't have as much OID. Huh? Object to image. So here's your object as the part, and then the image is the eye. So that's the 4th. And then the 5th digit is going to be on the IR. So just bring that and kind of relax your hand a little bit more. But we got to get the other fingers out of the way. Get it nice and straight, and then you can collimate down some. Look at your fingernail to see if you've got your angle. Bring that a little bit more. There you go. So that is the 5th oblique. Questions? All right, let's do laterals.